Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive717. I am back with another video. I hope you guys are doing incredibly well. So I wanted to come on and dig into the divine masculine energies a little bit because, I've really been picking up on them very strongly. And for some reason, it is very, very windy. Like it has been windy for I would say the last couple of weeks. And that energy that I'm feeling with the wind, with it being so strong, the message I'm getting is hostile. And I feel that a lot of them are purging out of anger and hostility and restlessness because what I'm getting for this particular group is that there's been silence or separation between these two for some time, and I think that it is making the divine masculines restless because they're usually so used to the divine feminine just coming forward and offering this level of unconditional love and soothing them and nurturing them, and it's like all of a sudden they don't have to dig deep anymore because their ego is now stroked, or they somehow feel like they can fall back on something or someone, and a lot of those crazy emotions that were coming up out of them for purging just kind of settle back dormant into their souls. But this time around I feel that many divine feminines are choosing themselves. A lot of the triggering between the two, I think that the divine feminines are in their high priestess energy, so they're recognizing cycles for what they are, and they're making the decision to stand in their power and really step away while the divine masculine actually goes through these tower moments and these dark nights. And I'm getting a lot of thunderstorms here. With the weather, I've been experiencing that, and I keep thinking about the divine masculines. It's been raining like crazy. Our power went out for a lot longer than it's ever gone out before. And I kept telling myself, in fact, it's so funny because, I think that anyone who reads tarot or who is on that ascension path or spiritual journey, it's like you're so much more tuned in to the world around you. And so it felt very witchy. I was standing at the window watching this storm shake the trees, and this rain beating down on the ground, and there was so much thunder and lightning. And here I am just at the window with it open, just staring down at the rain and really absorbing the energy that it's bringing. And I feel that many masculines now are in this period of purging. It's the scales are balancing, okay? Karma is happening, and what many feminines can pick up if they tune in as well is that and I've mentioned in past readings before, in the last few readings that I've done, the masculines are choosing themselves, and it's coming with a lot of upheaval. They are being tested, and I think that time after time they are seeing that the love still stands between them and the feminine, while their relationships or certain situations or just certain things that they've had in place, it's all crumbling. And I think that what I'm feeling from the masculines is that they're kind of looking around they can't believe that things aren't what they thought. But what seems to just feel so authentic and real is the connection or bond that they have with the divine feminine. And the reason I think that they're feeling that now is because they're recognizing the twin flame journey, but from their own perspective. And I'm getting the Hanged Man a lot, or the Fool card, where you're just kind of breaking free from the restrictions that you've had on you. Many of these masculines have stayed away from their divine feminines because of feeling like they've had their hands tied in certain partnerships, or maybe certain family members or friends, or just partners or close friends in that vicinity have had such a heavy influence on them, and they were afraid to really make their own decisions because they were afraid of being judged. And I know that many of us as feminines would question why do you even care? But that's just the badass empress within us, right? But for many of these masculines, they have grown up with this idea that it's you need approval from society. That's what it means to be a man, is to be sought after and looked up to. And for many of these masculines, I think that because their feminines were so different, either there was an issue in culture, and status. Let's say this divine feminine didn't come from a well-off background. She was more kind of independent, black sheep type of thing of her family, just not fitting in, being a little bit ostracized from society, like the, you know, the weirdo, the spiritual goddess who yeah, just spends a lot of time in solitude and with her pets, or, you know, with her tarot cards, or like whatever the case is. Like, you just seemed very different, you know. And I know I spoke of channeling around, like, whether you're like Latin or Caribbean descent, and then, or sorry, of Latin or Caribbean descent, and let's say you're twin flame is someone of like European descent, or even North American descent. So it's like you're having all of these things unfold in your connection, and it's coming up. But I feel like for many of the masculines, it's like they feel like a fool for having allowed those things to stop them from, you know, this amazing, beautiful, passionate exchange. And I think that that is where a lot of this like thunderstorm energy is coming from. It's like breaking free from all of that and like doing your own thing despite whether people approve of it or disapprove of it. Like, I keep feeling the Hanged Man with that, okay? Like, these are all of the things that they've been thinking about, and the storm represents the pain that they feel when they think back. It's like feeling regret. It's like it's happened, but it's like in hindsight. It's like now you have the awareness, but it's like, damn it, all of that had to happen in order for me to get this awareness now. And I feel like a lot of their pain comes from feeling like they don't know how they would ever make up for it, Divine Feminine. And some of that is like what's stopping them from communicating, okay? And I feel like that's where I want to kind of draw cards around that energy, is like, what are they feeling and going through when they're thinking about like reaching out to you? What does the universe want to let them know at this time? I feel like they are being supported if they can tap into the energy of just gratitude, knowing and understanding that this is all part of the twin flame process, and that the Divine Feminines have gone through it as well. And even though it feels like she is distant or she's not there, it's only so that they can really face this on their own and really understand and recognize that they have influence over their lives. If they're not communicating with the Divine Feminine right now because she is not influencing them in any way, and now they're giving him an opportunity to just be amongst his crowd of people and surroundings and the situations around him, and he can make his own decisions then, right? Like, okay, so I see the Moon card coming up, and that's exactly what I feel. What's coming up with it? I feel like there's two. So the Page of Swords. You know, it's with the Page of Swords, I feel like he's just new to all of this, but it doesn't mean that he's not willing to open up this book and learn. And that's what he's been doing, Divine Feminine. Like, I know that the distance is hard, and the separation and the silence, and trying to understand why it is they would do that. But a lot of the whys, we don't get any explanations because I feel like we don't necessarily need it. It's like, it's their lessons to learn, and half the stuff that they're struggling with, it's very tough for them to even come to terms with it themselves, let alone like diverge all of that stuff to us, right? Many of it's triggering, it's embarrassing. They don't want to admit to you that they need their mom's approval, or they need, you know, their friends' approval. Otherwise they don't want to be ostracized from like their social circles, or they don't want to come to you and tell you, hey, being with you means that it would just be me and you, because it would totally like freak everyone out that I know, and it may result in like I don't have friends, or I don't have family around me, or anyone that's close to me, all just because I'm coming towards you. They don't know how to say that stuff to you, right? But they're starting to learn and understand, you know, through awareness and solitude, that that's okay, you know, because at the end of the day, you don't really want to have people around you who don't really support your truth anyway. And if that means being alone, then, you know, oftentimes you just have to go on that journey of being alone, surrendering, and seeing what that brings. And I feel like even the wolves here howling at the moon, it's like his battle with his dark side and his light side. It's like doing what's right versus doing what everyone else thinks that you should do. You know, and I love that the Moon card too comes out with the Page of Swords here, because it's literally just, you know, facing your deepest fears and knowing that you'll be okay. Trusting that you'll be okay. It's almost like he's reading about the twin flame journey, just like many of the Divine Feminines did in the beginning, where, you know, this might have been us in our laptops watching twin flame tarot readings, or even reading a lot of blogs, right? I know a lot of you might have read Cassidy Kane's blog. I know that that was one of the first sets of literature I'd found on the journey that really helped me through. But I feel like that they're in this space right now. And again, like at the beginning of the reading, when I referred to the Hanged Man energy, a lot of them are just understanding what the feminine has gone through and how she might have felt, and how they might have, like, I guess maybe made fun of this journey or the things that you were going through, Divine Feminine. And it's like, now that they're going through it, yeah, like they'll never let you know that they have cried their eyes out, soaking tears into their pillowcase when feeling like this level of regret, you know, like it's almost like drowning in their tears is what I get with the Moon card coming out. And again, the Moon card can sometimes represent what's hidden. I think that this is what he may not ever let you know, is that he has spent a lot of nights like crying. And I kept getting that with like the thunderstorm energy, just the rain. It was like I kept feeling pain, you know. It's like, you know, when you cry so uncontrollably and after you're finished, it's like you have a headache, your eyes hurt, your face hurts. It's like that's what I'm getting from these Divine Masculines. So I have the Nine of Swords here, or the Nine of Wands rather, coming up here as well. And I feel like he had to do a lot of releasing, you know, but it's like now he's kind of standing tall here and realizing that, you know, it was the feminine's like light. That's what I get from this card here, okay? It's like this is what he saw through all of that turmoil here, is like he was going to be okay. Like, you're almost there, just hang in there because it's part of the journey. And there's his feminine holding this torch here. And I think that you were kind of like the peace as well as the storm. Like a lot of that pain came from thinking about the regret, but then also a level of just like relief of having you some way or somehow understand at the end of it all, like what you might have been going through, Divine Feminine. Okay, so that way when you guys communicate, it's like you'll understand what he was going through. I think that this card is like the comfort that lets him know that it's like you're not alone. And I think that he feels that a lot when he thinks about the journey with the Divine Feminine. It's like no matter what he's going through, there is someone that he can open up to about it. But the universe is like, only when you're ready, you know. And what is he going through right now, by the way? So patience. Okay, so learning to accept that everything happens in divine order. And I think that Divine Feminine, this says that he wants to reach out and he wants you to have the patience with him, but he knows it's not going to happen before he's ready. It's like all of this energy has to pass, just like the storms, right? Like waiting for the power to come back on. It's like everything just kind of had to shut down and like take its time. It's like I didn't know how long it was going to take for the power to come back on. I just knew I had to be patient and wait it out. And that's what I feel like is happening with these Divine Masculines. It's like they're feeling so much pain at this time on the journey, recognizing so much about who their Divine Feminine is. And it is just painful, but I feel like they're getting messages of like, you got to just kind of hibernate for a little bit and allow the moment to just pass. Okay, so a lot of them are praying right now that their Divine Feminines are having this energy of being patient with them, but they too will begin to see that on a twin flame journey, there really is no like disconnecting. You know, it's like there is only new perspective to be had and growth to be experienced between two people, and that is what shifts your twin flame connection and makes it deeper and more mature, and you guys bond more, is by having these experiences. And I feel too that like the Divine Masculine again recognizes his feminine and who she is and the love even more deeply when they go through like these painful moments, you know. And I feel like the Divine Feminine's awareness of just how deeply the Divine Masculine loves her is when you guys actually exchange like intimacy in person after these like purging moments. It's like you really do see a different side to your counterpart, and I think that is what shows the Divine Feminine as well, that it's like, wow, this journey is very real because I can see the growth happening in my counterpart right in front of my eyes, you know. And you guys know what I'm talking about, those in-depth conversations, those real deep meaningful loving conversations, not to mention the energy you feel behind it, that's experienced between you two. You know, it's unlike anything you've ever had with anyone else. So yeah, let's go ahead and see what's at the bottom here. Okay, so we have the Ace of Swords coming through. And, you know, the ace for me is all about readiness. You know, it's like you've had to go on this really, really, really long journey. You know, it's like whether you're going up the stairs or down the stairs, you know, it's going to be a tough one, a long one. Okay, there's going to be a lot of layers to be peeled off. But I love, like, you know, that whole light at the end of the tunnel type of thing there. And I love that the infinity sign is showing up as well, because I think that no matter what you guys go through, you know, this kind of represents like the different cycles that might be experienced between divine masculine and divine feminine, always sending you guys off on individual journeys. Sometimes you guys meet up along the path and hold hands and walk for a while together, and then you come to a crossroads and then one of you has to go one way, the other has to go another way. You know, like this is like your twin flames energy shining up here, always like leading you guys and supporting you guys along the way. And I feel like that's something that, you know, we really can't lose track of at this time, because, you know, the past few readings that I've shared about letting go and not engaging third-party situations and, you know, all of these types of energies are coming up for a reason, because many masculines are seeing it. Like, they're the ones that are going to be walking away from their long-term relationships, or they're the ones that are going to be getting divorced. And it's really going to hit the divine feminine as like, oh my God, I cannot believe he actually did it. You know, and many feminines have been in this situation as well. Your masculines are shocked as hell that you actually followed through. You know, you gave your word and you followed through, and you're being honest about this love, and you're having integrity and faith on the journey. And it's just undeniable. It's like the things that are occurring between twin flames right now, it's really magical and beautiful. You know, the Queen of Wands here, and I feel like this is how he sees you, divine feminine. This is what's like constantly making him want to walk this path with you, because he sees victory. You know, you're a highly intuitive woman. You know things about him without him even having to say it, and that alone makes him feel safe around you. You know, it makes him feel like he can be vulnerable without having to get, like, you know, say too much, like to really put himself down and out and get into a triggered space. It's like, I feel like that's not necessary. Like, the divine feminine doesn't have to ask him a million questions about what's wrong with him. It's like, she already knows. You know, like, this might be the kind of woman he comes home to, and after like 5 minutes with him, she kind of looks at him and she's like, you gonna talk to me about what's wrong or not? You know, it's like she doesn't have to ask him what's wrong. And he knows that, and he appreciates that very much about you. You know, and the Queen of Wands too is just, you know, she's a force to be reckoned with. And I feel like that's what your divine masculine has really admired about you, divine feminine, on this journey. It's like, it almost takes me back to this 9 of Wands card here. You know, it's like you're very youthful at heart. You know, and it's like charismatic is what I get. Just passionate and positive, and just go for it and just do it, or just believe in this. What have you got to lose, you know? Just very quick-witted, and she can handle her masculine. You know, she's the type of leader, a woman that's like a leader, but really sexy while doing it too. And that's what he just adores about you. And I think that you're matching, he is trying to match this energy, and you're matching that energy with him, divine feminine, because, you know, I think throughout it all, like after the storm has passed, you're going to definitely see a new version of your masculine coming through. You know, it's like that King of Wands energy that I mentioned with the commitment. It's like there's this Queen of Wands. You're the one that's calling in this energy. You know, and speaking about calling in this energy, divine feminines, like another message I've been getting very clearly is that, you know, I know it's really triggering to talk about disconnecting from third-party situations, or letting go and walking away and allowing your masculines to do the work. But the reason I say that is because that's what the Queen of Wands would do. You know, it's you know, the Queen of Swords might just kind of like cut you off and really kind of, you know, stick it to you, no pun intended. But with the Queen of Wands, like I more just kind of feel like she kind of walks away with this really sexy look, and she might just kind of turn around and wink at him, meaning like, you know, I trust that you know what to do on this journey, you know, but I can't continue to stay here and go through these cycles, because I love myself so much that I know what I'm worthy of, and I know that by me walking away, it's going to transform you, because you're what I want. And I know that because you're what I want, that I'm going to get what I want. And by you trusting that you're going to get what you want and holding the highest standards to yourself possible, Divine Feminine, seeing yourself like as the sexy Queen of Wands, who it's like, yes, your Divine Masculine is amazingly sexy and charming and, you know, incredibly attractive. But it's like, you know, if he's not going to come like a leader as well, just like a very, someone with like a lot of deep self-knowledge and self-love, and, you know, they're very passionate as well, but like honest and ambitious. It's like she wants those qualities as well. I feel like the Queen of Wands, you know, she won't necessarily shy away from a good-looking man, but it's like it's going to be really like, it's going to fizzle out really quickly if he doesn't have anything else to offer in terms of like leadership qualities. It's like he's just going to be a pretty face to her, and really that's all that is. Like, I think this Divine Masculine is starting to understand this Divine Feminine in a way where like there's got to be substance, you know, to him in order to like really hold her attention, you know. And I think that he thinks that is extremely incredibly attractive about her, because he knows he has it in him, you know. So your King of Wands is definitely coming. Okay, let's get one more card for the masculines. And I love that the Pride card comes up, because I think the King of Wands in this deck has a lion with him, but it says, I love myself and I see myself in everyone. And like, to me, this is like the mirror effect that the Queen of Wands has, because she has pride in herself. She can see herself in her masculine, and she's willing to be patient, you know, with this journey. But she's going to enjoy herself in the meantime doing it. And whether that triggers the Divine Masculine, he's going to have to deal with that. You know, it's like she's very open. She has a lot of integrity about herself. So she's not going to go into, you know, a party and flirt with every man. It's like, no, but if a man comes to her and flirts, she's not necessarily going to dismiss him. You know, she might, you know, just flirt back, but she knows her boundaries and she knows her limits and she knows her loyalties. But at the same time, her King of Wands doesn't even want her flirting with anyone or giving her smile away to anyone. And she knows that, but this Queen of Wands, you know, she knows, but she doesn't care, type of thing, you know. And yet he still finds that completely attractive about her. So, yeah, just continue to have pride within yourselves, Divine Feminine. Honor yourselves. See yourselves the way you want your masculines to come at you, and expect that. Because if you guys want them to come at you in this way that's like very grounded, mature, you know, you can't entertain energies that are not mature, that are not aligning with your inner truth, you know. Because I strongly feel that for many of you who are, you know, really waking up to wanting this experience with your Divine Masculine, it's like you don't want like pieces of him. You don't want to share him with anybody, just like he doesn't want to share you with anybody. And I think that you guys are holding him to a standard as well, where it's like, you know, a sexy, attractive man of integrity is decisive. And I love a man who's decisive. You know, a man that is still in a marriage but entertaining you, whether it be like sexually or, you know, promising you things of a commitment, but then is like afraid in certain ways to walk away from a connection that he may not know, that he may know intuitively that he's not happy in. I think that many Divine Feminines who are in this Empress energy, in this Queen of Wands energy, it's like you guys are seeing things a little bit more clearly now. It's like, wait a second, that does not speak of a man with like high integrity, or there's some, and I hate to say it this way, guys, because I don't mean to, you know, judge anybody. I know everyone's connection is unique, and there's a lot to consider when we think about like leaving a spouse or leaving a family or anything like that. I know from experience, because, you know, I'm going through the thick of it. But I'm just saying, you know, with this awakened Divine Feminine, it's like she looks towards this Divine Masculine and she wants him to act with integrity with everybody in his circle. And any Divine Masculine, you know, kind of balancing two worlds, I think for her, she's more seeing it as like, what are you so afraid of? And if you are afraid, or if you can't make a clear decision here, then I can't fully align myself to an energy like that. So that's why a lot of you are walking away, and that's why a lot of you are choosing yourselves and, just kind of seeing how that transforms the connection. And I feel that what's going to transform, or what's inevitable, is that your masculine's going to pick up on this shift that's happening within you. And then he's going to start feeling unafraid to make the shifts, because if he does have to walk away from certain long-term commitments, he's not going to be afraid, because he will start to understand that he has to do it with grace and integrity. And if he approaches it with honesty, then, there's not a lot that can go wrong. I feel like what's, going to go wrong is if, either parties, karmic situations, when they find out, or when they have an inkling, or they know that these types of things are happening behind their backs or in secret, that's what fuels a lot of the lower vibrational energies of, like, suspiciousness and jealousy and confusion and getting those getting caught up in those karmic entanglements. It's like you're constantly learning those lessons, because it's like no one's going to stand up and be truthful about letting the cat out of the bag type of thing. So until someone does, that's when you really put a swift sword to those types of cycles happening. Okay. And I feel that many feminines who are in this collective that I'm channeling for, like, you guys are the ones who have stepped up and you've put an end to those types of situations, because you're like, I'm not going to go through those types of cycles, because when I do, it means I'm mixing my energy with, like, my divine masculine and their karmic partners and their families and their friends. And, a lot of you guys are like, no, like, I need to focus in my energy and on me, and, like, attract the things to me that see me for me and want me and want to show me to the world just as much as I want to show them to the world type of thing. Okay, so a lot of you guys are really holding yourself accountable in this Queen of Wands energy, and really making magic and being the light of your own life. And it's really, really speeding things up in your divine masculine's life. Okay, I feel like a lot of endings are starting to initiate for the divine masculines, and oh goodness, it's getting hostile. But again, the divine feminine's like, I'm not concerned, because I got myself out of that. Alrighty. All right, guys. Well, that's what I have for you today. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next reading. All right. Take care, guys. I love you. Bye.